Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
We're back to discuss last night's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 10, right?
Yes.
Episode 10. We did a live reaction video last night, but apparently YouTube decided that they were going to block it. So, it took me a while to edit it and everything, get it uploaded. But anyways, it didn't work out. So now we're just going to do what we've been generally doing all along until we get the issues straightened out for next time. Just kind of review and recap of what happened. So this one starts off. They're still in 1983.
Yeah.
And Nathaniel is taking hostage some of the Inhumans with the help of Sybil. She's one of the Chronicons. She's like I don't know what
the head leader.
Yeah, she's like a program type of thing. She's in a computer, so. She's like the leader of the Chronicons. So she's helping Nathaniel kidnap some of these people. Either if they won't help him, he's going to steal their powers and put in regular people to give them superpowers, which will end up killing the Inhumans that he's taking the powers from. They did it with Daisy, but somehow she survived. I don't know if they didn't finish the whole process, and that's what made her survive. I don't know. Because all the other ones they did it to, didn't last very long before they died. Nathaniel's kind of, he's just a bad guy, which was not surprising. He's come from his father was part of Hydra or whatever. So, he's trying to take over the world with Inhumans, or people using Inhuman powers.
Yeah. I thought it was also cool because the actor that plays Nathaniel, I think, his father wasn't really as crazy as him. He just, his father was, he just wasn't crazy.
Yeah, he even mentions, because they talk about Hydra. He said, oh, you mean, how my father wanted, move up in the ranks, do this and do that. He's, he's just crazy. I mean, Hydra's it was a bad
organization.
Yeah, but they weren't, crazy like this guy is.
Yeah, he just wants to take Inhuman powers and just slaughter every single person he can find, and I just think the guy that plays him, I think he just does a great job with his character. I mean, it's cool to see a bad guy act so insane and psycho and everything else, and I thought it's just cool of how his character is just really, really evil.
Yeah.
I also thought it was also cool of how the scene where Daisy and her mother, at first when, what's his name, Agent Sousa, basically talking to Daisy's mom, and he basically tells Daisy, oh yeah, she wants to tell you something, by the way, and she basically had that really, good job, man, really, you had to say so.
Yeah.
And she at first she doesn't tell her that she is her daughter. She basically talks about her mother, how she was to her and everything else, and she starts feeling bad, oh, that stinks and everything else. And then when Nathaniel shows up at their lighthouse base, he basically tells her that's your daughter, and she starts feeling bad, why didn't you tell me? And she's I wanted to, but I was afraid and everything else. But I also thought it was sad of how Nathaniel decides to kill her own mother.
She literally just found out that that's her daughter, and 2 months later she was dead.
Yeah, which I thought it was sad, but I just thought it was a cool scene as well, because I mean, imagine going back in time, seeing one of your family members that you didn't really know, and then they just die out of nowhere.
I wonder what's gonna happen if Jayne got killed before Daisy was born. If she didn't know she had another daughter, so how is Daisy still here since she's dead before she was born? I don't understand that part.
Unless she was born before she died.
No, she would have known she had another daughter. She didn't know she had another daughter, and clearly the daughters would be because of the.
Unless
taken to the fact that they're in 1983, the age difference would have been really a lot different.
Unless
between the daughters.
Unless her other daughter maybe was created using some sort of genetic thing. Maybe that's why. I have no idea. That's just a theory.
Yeah, I think I was surprised that she was still in existence because that's what they were trying to protect her from dying. They said if she dies, then Daisy won't exist. But that was obviously not the case because she died and she was still there.
Maybe her daughter's maybe like a Coulson. Maybe it's a LMD. I mean, we don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it's like there was no LMDs back then, as far as we know.
I also thought it was cool of how Fitz gets mentioned in this one, but he was getting mentioned a lot in this episode because Simmons and Deke were talking about him and Deke basically said like oh, we're gonna go get him, I'm sure he's alive, and Simmons was talking about how the last time she saw Fitz was in some base in Texas, and she tried calling him one day and he never picked up, and basically she thinks he might be dead, but Dee's like, no, we can't think that way. I'm sure he's alive.
He's like, don't talk like that. Don't say that. Like he doesn't want him to be dead. I don't think he's dead. I think that they kind of played up a little bit to kind of shock the viewers a little bit, so that way when he does show up, it'll be just that much better. But I'm sure he's not dead.
No, I agree with you. I don't think he's dead. I think because obviously now that there's only 2 more episodes to go until the finale, I'm sure Fitz is going to have some sort of major role towards the finale. Maybe I think they're just hyping everyone up, even though they may have tricked the viewers to think he's dead, but really he isn't.
Yeah, because I heard at the beginning of this season he was in this season, so
he's on the poster.
Yeah, so maybe he's going to show up in the next episode. If not, definitely by the finale.
Yeah, but I also thought it was cool with how Coulson and the guy with no eyes or whatever his name is, the Inhuman guy.
I forget what his name was.
I thought it was cool of how when they transported inside the afterlife, Nathaniel, all of his guards just start storming them. I thought it was kind of how he knew they were going to be there.
That was because of Sybil. Sybil's the one pulling all the strings. Tell him where to go, when things are going to happen. That way he's kind of 10 steps ahead of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's, he kind of took him by surprise. He didn't kill Coulson, though. They got Jiang's other daughter,
Cora.
They had her, but somehow, they ended up getting her back and got her on the ship.
I thought it's also crazy, too, in that scene where Coulson's inside the lab where they're transferring the Inhuman power into what's his name, John Garrett. And Coulson and John Garrett having a conversation, and I thought it was also cool because John Garrett connected the episode to the first Avengers movie because he was asking Coulson what was his favorite time to die, and he's like, oh, it was with the sword.
The guy with the long hair and the time he got stabbed or whatever.
Yeah, and which he's talking about Loki, because Loki killed him in the first Avengers movie. Right. And then there was another connection with how Nathaniel knew they were going to be there, and he basically said, oh, well, I look into every possible outcome and future whatever and the odds or whatever. And I just thought it was a cool connection because obviously that's a power that Doctor Strange has, because as Doctor Strange can look into the future and see the outcomes of possibly anything, of winning to losing and everything else. And I just thought that was another cool connection as well. But I also want to know is... because the episode does end pretty coolly with Simmons gets kidnapped by Nathaniel and Garrett, and basically Nathaniel says, we're tired of Fitz holding us up. He keeps blocking us. I don't know what Fitz has that they need, but he's just tired of them blocking them and everything. And basically she knows where he is, but not really. They don't know that. because with the chip in her head, so they can ask her all they want. She's like, I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is.
I know. Hopefully, the Sybil doesn't know that she has a chip on her head. Because if she knows, then they could just take it out and she'll remember everything. But hopefully, that's not the case. So I'm sure they're gonna rescue Simmons. Maybe, and from the preview at the end of the episode, it looks like Cora decided to help Shield. So maybe she gets mad that Nathaniel killed her mother.
Yeah.
And she and the two sisters join forces with their powers, and they're gonna go rescue Simmons. We'll have to wait and see if that's what happens.
I'm kind of surprised with that.
Or what?
That throughout the season, the only person that's been killed on the Shield team is Enoch and not the rest of them. So I wonder if like Mac or Coulson or any of them are gonna die towards the finale or something. I don't think so. I'm gonna say not any of them may die. Maybe one of them. Maybe I don't think.
I don't think they're gonna get this close to the end of these series.
Yeah.
And have them killed off in the last couple episodes. I think they're gonna get the whole team to the final episode just to make it that much more emotional. I'm sure that the final episode is gonna be an emotional one because that's just what they would do. It's kind of like the one where I forget the character's name, or a few seasons ago, where they had two spies had to leave Shield. But I forget what the reason was. It was like this really emotional final ending, when they all were on the bar. Well, anyways, so I'm sure at the end of this series, it's going to be pretty emotional. It's the last episode, of the entire series. So
I agree.
So overall, I think this is really will be pretty climactic because there's only 2 episodes left, and if they have to face this huge threat of this guy with superpowers, with somebody who can see the future, so he can kind of defend against anything that's going to come his way. That's pretty dramatic. So I'm sure it's going to take the next episode and probably a half before they figure it all out. And probably have Fitz return and whatever.
I agree.
I really enjoyed this episode. It really showed the different powers of the different Inhumans, and Daisy fighting them, and Coulson doing what Coulson does. I really like how Mac's been this season, being in control and being like the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think the guy's done a good job of playing that character.
I agree.
I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't ramble on too much. Yeah. If you guys are liking this series, or have any thoughts or comments, put them on down below. And as always, hit that like and subscribe.
Until next time.